And there you go. So that's all I'm going to do as far as plaster goes. I'm going to have to get some more hydrated lime. But I've gone through and gotten the worst places, although I found a loose spot over here, so it's not wet. I didn't get it, but got that. So most of this is actually going to be the finish plaster going over. I've got to go to Limeworks and get that. So that'll be the thin coats where you put multiple ones over and over and over it to get the smooth finish. 100 times better. Can't believe there was a door there. When that dries out, it's going to be nice. Down here, most of this is actually really solid. There's a couple little hairline cracks over there, but really one good coat of the smoothing plaster will be great. So yeah, and then we'll go through, we'll take the insulation here. We're going to box all that in after they put the ductwork for the returns and stuff. But not that much more up in this space, of course, sanding out the floor. But it's definitely taking shape. I'm going to do a few more things before I get ready to get out of here, clean up, and go to the dump. And then we'll be back like Tuesday or Wednesday to get back on this thing. Man, what a big change this week has been. Getting this, look at that. Wow. Getting this up here, getting the cabinets, and so on. We're getting closer to getting on out of here. We're taking the countertop here, and we have some 220 grit sandpaper and some thinner. And we're using thinner to lubricate this. We don't want to put water on here because water and oil don't mix. So just a little bit of thinner, and then we'll wipe it down with a tack cloth, and then we'll be able to put our next coat of varnish on it. One of the things that's kind of cool about this house here, when I got a thermometer last week, my wife was like, men always want to know what temperature it is. Well, here's what's good about this place. It's 70, look, we've got no AC, but it is 74 inside and 80 outside. So it's 6 degrees cooler in here than outside. That's amazing. No heat, no air, but it's keeping the temperature in here. Last night when I left, it was 67 inside and outside. And that was about 11 o'clock last night. So it takes a lot longer for this place to heat up than it does outside, which is great. And the reverse is true too. When you, once you get it warm, it stays warm. So definitely great. Look at that. Took care of any air bumps and stuff that are in here. And now, get that second coat on before I leave. And it can cure for a couple of days, and then we'll come back and put a couple more coats on. It's great that nobody will be here while it's drying. And we want to make sure especially that we get this edge really well, because that's going to have the water that's going to be running off of it. But we're using a spar urethane, which is an exterior varnish. It's similar to what you would use on a boat. I have, if you watched my fireside chat, I made a cover for the fire pit, I guess about 4 years or so ago, and it's got spar urethane on it. It's been outside for like 4 or 5 years, so. Now the good thing is this will give this plenty of time to dry out for a couple of days, and so we can go through and we'll really be able to let this to really be able to get a good sand. We'll use like a 400 grit sandpaper to make sure that we've got a good polish for the next coat. it's been a good week here. Okay. So you guys remember I was making some homemade flooring. So we put this in place, and this is, unfortunately, because of the way this floor is designed, where it's just the floor joists, it's harder to split and go through. And since we don't have much of this, we have to make do and understand that this is actually going to be under a bed, so nobody will really see it. And we have to have enough because we got to fix the spot over there. But I realize I'm driven. Every time I think, okay, I'm just going to do this, and then I'm going to stop and leave. But then it's like, if I just do one more thing, and I wanted to patch this floor up, and man, I'm going to tell you, I've got to bandage this sucker up. I hit my finger with the hammer. I think, fortunately, it was mostly the flesh. But as the saying goes, you can't keep a good man down. I was like, I'm going to finish this before I go. So I'm going to call it a day now. I'm trying to see if I can get that countertop in. But we want to take a look at what we accomplished this week at least. I feel good. I got here Wednesday. Today's Saturday. It was just me, which is fine. I'm good at working by myself. We got this window. Got the molding and stuff put on there. Of course, you just saw me get that squared away, patching that spot on the floor so we don't have to have that piece of plywood there any longer, which is great. We've got this window, same thing, trim put on that. Jen will be back maybe tomorrow or Monday to start getting the rest of the tile done. Great thing is his mom's doing well. This is the huge thing that we got done. We got the upper cabinet up there put in. We got all of the base cabinets built and put in. And we got our countertop, solid butcher block. And this is now the second coat of varnish that's on there. Outside, and I hope I can bring it in with my finger jacked up, we have this section of the countertop that is laminated together and drying. I glued that this morning. We also have the other upper cabinet. We built all the cabinets here, mind you, in place. So that wasn't an easy thing to do at all. So we got that much done. I've been sanding on the ceiling. It's not completely finished, but definitely a lot better than it was. I feel good about that. You can see here where you don't see any flaking. I've got a lot over here where I've got to go back through and hit that. But now, take a look up there. This is where it really starts to feel like we're beginning to get finished. We've got, I closed up. This was actually a doorway, second door going into the bedroom. I took that door out, ended up putting lath that I made to go up on there, put the first coat of plaster on it, got the second coat, and plastered all the bad spots throughout here. So what we'll be able to do is now use the finish coat to smooth all this out. Believe it or not, this space in here is actually in pretty good shape as far as the plastering goes, and that looks 100 times better than what it did before. It used to look like somebody had taken a shotgun and shot everything off the wall. It was basically, I got a half ton of sand, and I think I used about a third of it. So definitely proud of what I got accomplished this week. We're getting closer. When I come back next week, we'll get another coat of varnish on the countertop. The faucet is on order and it'll be here sometime today, which will be great because then we'll be able to get the kitchen faucet. Get the kitchen faucet working and stuff and getting that. So that gets another step closer. Jen will be working on the tile. My brother will be back to finish getting the HVAC working, and Mike should be back getting the last of the light fixtures and stuff put in, any of the electrical that's left, and my wife will be here. I've got to take some paint home to her because we've got 3 of the doors at the house, and she'll paint that at home, so we can bring those back and put them up and stuff. So it's been, oh, and I also got the flashing put on between the old house and the addition that we didn't put on there. Found out with all the rain that we had a roof leak that we had to take care of. So we'll fix the drywall when I come back next week. But it's been a very good week of getting a lot of stuff done. And now I've got a 2.5 hour drive home. I hear that there's a bad accident on 81, so I'll have to go a different way home. But yeah, it's really getting there. Alrighty, I appreciate y'all. Peace. All right, that's it. I'm gonna get out of here because the dump closes at 3:30. So that's it from the red brick house. We're gonna fill this in with epoxy resin, and that way you'll see all these beautiful gaps and stuff in here and all the imperfections of 200 years, wormholes and everything else. That's why I love this thing. Okay, that's it. Now you can see, now that this is glued up and sanded a little bit, we put the 1/4 inch round over on it so you don't get, you got a nice smooth edge on here. And you can see how it's nice and flat. This is definitely gonna be nice to be able to sit here and contemplate life. This kitchen, my Lord, look, just, it's funny because this kitchen is not very big. It's 17 by 11, a little over 11. But there is so much workspace in here, it's gonna be unbelievable. This is a dual purpose. You could, here's what would be cool, is let's say you're just going to entertain. You could end up basically making a whole buffet right through here where people can just come right through and, you know, refill. You can be loading up and things like that. They grab their plate and they can go, you know, we're gonna have a fold out, you know, one of the drop leaf tables that'll be in there, and we'll have a coffee table that's a convertible and stuff. So you could have people just come through to fix a plate. And if you're cooking, this makes it easy peasy here because you're cooking and you're just, boom, serving it right on here. This has been a dream or a vision of how I wanted to lay this out to make it as functional as possible. And I think I have achieved that, you know, the big sink right there, the easy access, like people can get a plate and go out onto the deck. This is truly like home. I appreciate you guys being here and being part of the show and helping me through my madness. And I can't wait to get this thing finished like that stuff over there. Have a great day. Peace.